Yeah, most definitely. I'm sure we're bound to see Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga this past season. But as I said yesterday, there was a tantalizing fixture in the Saudi Pro League as Al Ettifaq were taking on the reigning Saudi Pro League champions Al Nassr, and it seemed that Al Ettifaq were on the verge of completing quite an impressive victory over the champions and the league leaders, as yes, Moussa Dembele was fouled outside of the box, and the Al Nassr were down to 10 men pretty early on, and Al Ettifaq needed to took the victory took the lead, through Duda first. And yeah, it seemed they were primed for a comfortable victory in this particular encounter against the reigning champions. And yeah, the likes of Ronaldo, the likes of Kingsley Coman tried and gave it their best to, kind of salvage the result. And at that particular point in time, it didn't look like anything was going to come to fruition as they doubled their lead just before halftime. So Al Nassr definitely dug themselves into a hole going into the second half.
Well, we did see, of course, the start of this match was so dramatic. 2 goals also from Al Ettifaq, but here we're seeing one of the 2 goals that Sadio Mane did score that, yesterday night we did see him find the back of the net in the 74th minute to give a little bit of hope to his side. Then we did have Al Amri finding the back of the net as well, just 3 minutes after in the 77th. And at this time, everything was level, 2-2. Sadio Mane goes for another goal, trying to score at the 90th. As you see, the clock was ticking. And well, to add a bit to the drama, they had to review this goal. Of course, it couldn't be that easy. They had to check whether it was to be disallowed or not. But then it was awarded, and at the 90th minute, we did see a win for Al Nassr, securing 3 more points that now keep them at the top of the table. They did get 3 wins out of 3 matches they've played, sitting at the top with 9 points so far, followed by Al Ittihad, 7 points, as they got 2 wins and a draw. And then, of course, the other teams still have to play their matches. But for now, Cristiano Ronaldo, Al Nassr is there at the top of the Saudi Pro League after 3 match days.
Yeah, we're waiting for Ronaldo to reach that 1,000 goal mark. Of course, I think it's 23 goals to go.
23 to go.
23 goals to go. Obviously, he was not on the score sheet yesterday, but another Portuguese star was at the helm to help them victory, as João Felix got 2 assists in that particular encounter. And as Lucrezia said, yes, Al Nassr remained top of the table with 9 points, and right behind them is Al Ittihad, while Al Qadsiya make up that top 3, and you then find Al Hilal and Al Ali, and then the defeated Al Ettifaq in that 6th position. So an interesting season is poised for us in the Saudi Pro League. So you guys know where you can find Saudi Pro League. This is the home of Saudi Pro League. So you guys make sure to tune into all those fixtures. Like I said, Al Nassr will be taking on Al Tawoun later this week, and Al Khalej will be taking on Al Hilal on Saturday, this coming weekend as well, So yes, make sure to keep it locked in. Yes, that's the team. That's the log in full. Yeah, fantastic, and a very interesting Saudi Pro League season ahead of us.
Yeah, we're treating our Ronaldo fans very well because they can check out their favorite player pretty often here on Sporty TV. But now moving on to transfer news, let's say, because we have so much to talk about. There's done deals, there's rumors, there's everything. Yesterday we did talk about Julian Alvarez, the way he was, let's say, not welcome at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano the past weekend when Atletico played at home. Of course, he featured for just a little bit, but he was booed, there was whistle. It was a very hostile atmosphere for him. And we know that the player has hinted many times that he would like to now leave Atletico de Madrid. He has been hinting that the one club he wants is Barcelona, but it seems like the move to Barcelona is not happening for him. And latest news comes that today it did not train with Atletico Madrid.
That is the latest news emerging from Spanish reports. It is alleged that he is sick and unwell, so he was unable to go to Las Rosas today to train with Los Rojiblancos. We don't know how true that is, of course, but he was not present. Maybe in the coming days that may change, as yes, Atleti obviously have league league matches to honor this coming weekend. So we'll see whether Julian does appear in that particular matchup as well. But it's quite an interesting affair because, as we do know, while he didn't make training as well, reports do say that he still wants Barcelona. That is his main priority, and that is to move to the Catalan Giants. So Yeah, it's a tricky situation for Atleti because obviously you don't want to strengthen your rivals with your best player.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to keep somebody that's clearly not happy.
That doesn't want to play for you anymore. It's a tricky situation. I wonder if they do have a problem at this stage, because now not going to training is a strong message coming from Julian Alvarez, and we know that perhaps Arsenal might be trying to sign him. Now we don't know if he wants to sign with Arsenal, if Atletico would like to let him go, but from Atletico's perspective, it would be better for him to go to Arsenal than rivals Barcelona in Spain. Of course. Now, yesterday we did come up with a list of players that perhaps could substitute Julian Alvarez here at Atletico Madrid, the ones that could replace him. If we can have that list once again, we did mention Victor Osimhen could be perhaps one of them. Nicholas Jackson was also another name we did have for you, as well as Victor Gyökeres, which of course would mean that there will be an exchange with Arsenal.
Yes, of course, yes. Victor Gyökeres has been linked with a few Spanish clubs, but Atletico is one of them as well, as they look to, possibly replace Julian Alvarez. But I think I need to, or at least try to dispel some of because as you said, his preference is to stay in Spain and with Barcelona. But the reason for this, according to many in Argentina, is because it's much easier to get his family and his friends visas here in Spain as opposed to England, where it's a bit more nuanced. So guys, it's not rejecting Arsenal. It's just easier for him to be with his loved ones in Spain, and obviously play for Barcelona is pretty cool too. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. So yeah, but these are the names that could possibly replace Julian Alvarez, and yeah, it's not a bad list, to be fair. And with 150 million in your back pocket, you could pretty much get whoever you want. Not
bad, and we could add another name. I mean, we could add Tottenham's Kudus to this Atletico de Madrid shortlist, because Mundo Deportivo, a newspaper, has reported that Mohamed Kudus is now considered as an option to strengthen Atletico de Madrid's attack. Now, the publication described all these options as complicated. We don't know. Of course, it has linked with Julian. It has to be intertwined with this Julian Alvarez situation. But perhaps Kudus could be an extra name on that list that we have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, 150 in your back pocket, you can buy basically whatever you want. So, yeah, let's see who Atletico Madrid ultimately do decide on. But moving on to other rumors, there's as a matter of fact, not other rumors. Actually.
Yeah, we do. We do have a couple of interesting rumors to mention.
Yes, rumors as well as. We could see another star leaving La Liga for the Premier League, as Eduardo Camavinga has been linked with a move to Manchester United. We do know they need reinforcements in that midfield position. They acquired Yuri Tillemans, Andre Santos, and recently Carlos Baleba, which we'll get into. But now it seems that Eduardo Camavinga could also be on Man United's shortlist. And it makes sense, considering the amount of midfielders that Real Madrid now have at their disposal.
Yeah, and it feels like, I think even starting from last season, it felt like him and Asensio were not included in the new project. Now, it was also reported that the players didn't want to leave the club, but perhaps if a club like Manchester United, that it's, I don't want to say it's exactly the same as Real Madrid, but still one of the biggest clubs in the world comes and knocks at your door, perhaps Camavinga and Real Madrid could consider this. So we'll see. We'll keep you all updated, of course. Now, we mentioned Mohamed Kudus, and another rumor that we do have, of course, is Moise Kean. Now, Como did offer 40 million euros plus a bonus to the Fiorentina side. Now, Como does need a new attacker for the UCL now that they've qualified. So Fabregas feels like perhaps Moise Kean could be the right player for them. Now, Fiorentina will have to let him go and, of course, find a substitute. And the two names that now they do have on their shortlist are Emmanuel Emega from Chelsea, as well as Beto coming from Everton.
Nice, yeah, not a bad option for Como. I think many people here in the studio think they could possibly win the league, and considering Moise Kean's form last season with Fiorentina, you would think his addition could help that, potential title charge. But yes, going from rumors to transfers that are almost done, and one, we've been speaking about Arsenal, of course, and yesterday we articulated how Julian Alvarez's potential arrival to the Emirates Stadium is intertwined with the departure of one Gabriel Martinelli, and the Brazilian attacker has been linked with a move to Al Ittihad. Reports say that personal terms have been agreed with the Brazilian and the Saudi Pro League side, so it seems that his departure from North London is imminent. Another player poised to leave the English capital middle is Liam Delap. Yesterday, it was reported that he had agreed personal terms, and Nottingham Forest, as well as the Blues, have agreed on terms for a transfer fee for the former Ipswich striker. And now Liam Delap will be making his way to the City ground after only one season at Stamford Bridge, which, you know, wasn't so good for him, failing to make a big, impression, only scoring 2 goals for the West London side. So yeah, quite a remarkable fee, and it's rumored to be 45 million euros. But yeah, interesting developments from Stamford Bridge.
And going to Italy now, we do have a player, Fabio Miretti, leaving a Bianconero side to join another, and one black and white in Juventus to then join Besiktas. Now, it seems to be that there's been talks and a verbal agreement between these two sides, so perhaps we'll have confirmation of Italian player join the Turkish side pretty soon. But now, going to deals that are done and confirmed, something that was confirmed right before our show is one of the biggest signings, I think, for Manchester City, something that we've been talking about for quite some time now. We do have confirmation that Boadi, the 18-year-old midfielder coming from Morocco, from the French team Lille, has now signed a contract with Manchester City that will keep him at the Etihad Stadium until 2031. Now, he's also now become the most expensive Moroccan player of all time, with a fee worth 95 million euros. And we do have his words now as a new Manchester City player.
Yes, I think it was the right time, because I was good in Lille. I felt very good, but it was the moment for me to step over, And coming in City was, I think, the right things to do, and I'm really happy and proud to be here. I would say that I'm a player who plays for the team. I'm a really collective player. I try to put my teammates in the best position and to give everything every time for the team. I wouldn't be here without my family, so I'm really happy to have them next to me, really proud of them, and this is also why I'm playing football, to make proud my family.
That is Ayoub Boadi making his way and, saying that he's proud to join the citizens after a very impressive season with Lille and then at the World Cup with Morocco. But the citizens were not the only Mancunian side to welcome a new central midfielder, as Manchester United were also confirmed the arrival of Carlos Baleba, another African star from Cameroon. He signed from Brighton and Hove Albion. After last season, he was linked with the Red Devils. He has now officially made his way to Old Trafford, and he is officially their newest acquisition. Like I said, he was touted and linked with them for quite some time last season, and they were quoted at 120 million at that point in time, but now they have reportedly got him for 70 million. So, patience has seemingly
paid off.
Benefited Manchester United. But yeah, he wasn't the only one on the move, as Christopher Nkunku has now left AC Milan to rejoin RB Leipzig after some time away from the German Giants, of course, first making his way to Chelsea and then going to Italy before ultimately finding his way back at the Red Bull Arena. And one player who is leaving the Bundesliga, as a matter of fact, for Italy is Kamel Grabar. The goalkeeper, is poised to be the backup goalkeeper to Vicario, who Juventus also recently acquired recently in the transfer window. But with the influx of goalkeepers, obviously, the old lady had to say goodbye to some, shot stoppers, and it is said that Michel Di Gregorio has officially signed with Marco Rosa in the Premier League with Bournemouth, as he will now make his way to the Vitality Stadium and is now the newest acquisition. The 29-year-old goalkeeper signs for £12 million. So yeah, welcome addition for the Cherries, and let's see how Di Gregorio does in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, we will see. Now, staying on transfer rumors and transfer market in general, there's a very interesting fact about one specific team that we did see with Boadi, Manchester City. Now, this summer, of course, they did change manager from Pep Guardiola to Enzo Maresca, and they have sold plenty of players. Now, their business this summer includes selling Savio for 100 million, Tijani Rangers, Roger Hernandez, Nico Gonzalez seems to be close to be done, as well as Omar Marmoush to Tottenham. So we'll see about that if those add to the list. James Strasford, Manuel Akanji, and Nathan Ake. Now, the total of money that City has gotten in their I mean, that's going to end this summer, surpasses the 400 million euros if those two other transfers, if Nico Gonzalez for 58 million and Omar Mamouche are confirmed. Also, they let go of Bernardo Silva and John Stones for free. So it's amazing business for them.
Yeah, amazing business for them, and it just shows you how, you know, they are able to turn over players quite well. I mean, the departure of Tijani Reinders is quite impressive as well. Able to recoup a lot of money for a player. They also signed for a lot of money. So yeah, very impressive. And City have been impressive in general, selling players over the last few seasons. They've made some impressive sales of players. The likes of Cole Palmer have recently left for big money. Rodri as well is one of them this particular window. And as you can see, we can see the biggest sales from Manchester City over the last 5 seasons. 22-23 was Raheem Sterling for 52, and like I said, Cole Palmer in 22-24 to Chelsea as well, while Julian Alvarez left for Atletico Madrid for a lot of money.